So we also had news over in Europe, and in their reaction to all this, they said that the ECB will no longer be taking Greek bonds as collateral, huh?
That's right, and as your previous guest mentioned, it wasn't that much of a surprise since the selective default rating was announced last night by Standard & Poor's. The ECB had to kind of do something to maintain its credibility, so they announced that from this point on, at least temporarily, that Greek government bonds or those bonds guaranteed by the Greek government wouldn't be accepted as collateral at ECB operations. What's key right now is that this move puts some pressure on European governments to put into force something that they had agreed to actually in July, which is a 35 billion euro credit guarantee for the ECB that would allow the central bank to keep Greek bonds as collateral for its normal operations. So right now, Greek banks are dependent on the Greek National Central Bank through something called emergency liquidity assistance for its survival, for their survival, really. That's what it boils down to.
Todd, let me ask you, so, the ECB said that this would be a temporary move. Is there any sense as to how long this action is going to last?
Well, the ECB said that in their press release today that they want the moves, they want this arrangement that I was just talking about to be in place by mid-March. So they're hoping, or at least the implicit, or even beyond that, I think fairly clear hope from the ECB is that this can be undone by mid-March, and that things can be back to where they were before by that point.
So this move was seen as a technical move, but also I think the ECB is trying to send a bigger message to governments there, aren't they?
Yeah, I would agree with that statement, definitely. I had an analyst that my colleagues today spoke to and said something to the effect that the ECB is drawing a line, saying that the ECB is not willing to be a bad bank for Eurozone governments. So in that respect, you're right. The ECB is putting a little bit of pressure on Eurozone governments or European governments, especially in light of their upcoming summit at the end of the week, that they have to take the necessary decisions to make this happen, so that the ECB gets some protection vis-a-vis Greek paper.
And is there any sense that the ECB could take some sort of similar action to other countries' bonds? I mean, I know that that may not occur right now, but down the road, I mean, do you see that happening again?
I wouldn't rule it out, but I also think that the ECB has been very clear that Greece is a unique and special case. So I think to speak right now of what's going to happen with other countries, I mean, you never know. I mean, I think the premise of your question, or what's behind your question, is very much legitimate and well grounded. But I think it's hard to say right now whether next in line for this sort of treatment would be Portugal or Ireland. I mean, there are too many variables in the air, at least from what one hears on Portugal, and is that they're in a different situation to Greece. So it's hard to know for sure.